Greetings, my friends. Today we will talk about what is the next best thing you can do if you won't do keto. Now, keto is the natural nutrition of man. That's what you should do. That's what we have been designed to do. But sometimes it is not so easy. That might have to do with needing to follow the schedule of other people, or it might have to do with finances, or it even might have to do with not easy access to quality meat and other ketogenic food products. It might even have to do with timing and scheduling, which means that you might need to be able to perform at a high level for whatever reason for the coming period of time. And going into a keto diet and experiencing carb withdrawal might not fit in that particular schedule for now. But whatever is the reason, here are some things which are the next best thing to do if you won't do keto. Now, obviously, it goes without saying that we're talking about a low-carb diet. It doesn't mean that just because you want to do keto, you need to overload your system with carbs. That's never good. So let's get into it. So one thing you really need to do is eliminate foods that are high in omega-6 fatty acids. That is a cause of a lot of inflammation, and the main culprit here are seed oils. So sunflower oil, soy oil, safflower oil, all that stuff. If you need to eat oils, just eat olive oil or just use butter. Of course, you can also use coconut oil, but I don't see the reason personally. Olive oil and butter are much better, both in taste and also nutritionally. The other thing that is great to do is a 3-day fasting every 3 months. Every 3 months is not so much. 3-day fasting is, it sounds very hard and very difficult, but it's totally doable. In the beginning it might be very difficult, but the more you try to do it, the easier it becomes, and the health benefits are immense. That's probably the best thing you can do for your health. And since you're not going to do keto for now, at least do that. That's going to pretty much resurrect the whole system and pretty much fix every inflammation and many other problems. The other thing to do is get a potassium supplement and also a magnesium supplement. The reason for that is because when you are on a carb diet, the carbs help deplete those minerals. You need to then add a supplement. Similarly, you need to limit the sodium intake, and by this I don't mean that you should stop eating salt. You should eat salt. It's just that your potassium should be higher than your sodium, so that the sodium-potassium pump functions properly. For more information on that, I'll just quickly say that this is a way that your cells have to draw energy from inside themselves and use it, and that pump requires that you have double the amount of potassium compared to sodium. And because everybody is pretty much depleted in potassium, in the beginning at least, until you balance yourself, you should take even more potassium, like 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 compared to sodium. That also means, of course, that you shouldn't overdo it with sodium. And this, which is fixing the potassium-sodium pump, will basically increase your energy levels by an awful lot. Here's the thing. If you need to catch your breath after you just climb up some stairs, then that is a hint that you might actually be depleted in potassium. And your potassium-sodium pump, which is the energy generator, is actually not working so well. So the other thing you need to do is get enough sunlight. Sunlight is super important for many reasons, but one of the main ones is vitamin D. Vitamin D is a vitamin that is generated by sunlight, and it will overall increase your health, and it will mainly increase your immune system by an awful lot. So then the other thing is that you need to balance your diet between eggs, meat, vegetables, dairy, and I guess carbohydrates if you're not going to do keto. But even in carbohydrates, you should try to prefer carbohydrates that come from vegetables. And for example, a main one is that you should avoid bread, you should avoid, wheat, grains, and instead you should try to eat potatoes. Potatoes are much better than bread because one of the reasons, of course, there are many reasons, but one of them is that they're actually very rich in potassium, which, as we said before, carbs are depleting you in. So eating bread all the time is totally not good for you. And finally, the last thing that I want to mention that you have to do, and which will help your performance and your health be as good as possible, is exercise. Exercise offers an awful lot of benefits. And apart from, the improved blood circulation and metabolism and all that stuff, you should just realize that the more you exercise, the more carbs you burn, so the fewer carbs your body has to deal with. The less insulin then it has to produce, and so on. So exercise, apart from the other health benefits that it offers, like overall improved body function in every perceivable way, it also effectively limits the amount of carbohydrates that your body has to deal with, simply because it uses up a lot of them. So I hope this helps people who are not able, for the time being, to get into keto or the carnivore diet. And even though this advice will immensely help you along the way, you should not get stuck on it, and you should eventually transition your nutrition to the natural nutrition of man, which is keto, or if you want to be more purist, a carnivore diet, even though, in my opinion, you shouldn't do the carnivore diet for a very extended period of time without turning it into keto a little bit. I mean, eating just meat for the rest of your life seems to not be ideal, but turning it into a keto diet, which just includes other things as well, like vegetables, that seems to be, with the data we have now, it seems to be a lot better in the long run. Although the carnivore diet is a pretty good reset of the whole system that seems to really, really fix the health of a lot of people all around the world. So until the next time, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Be well and take care.